Good day, everyone, and welcome to Andrew's Life. I hope everyone's doing great today on this Thanksgiving Eve. Well, every day that goes by, every day that's been going by ever since it was learned that Donald Trump will become president of the United States once again, every day that goes by, I have been, quite amazed, and not so much in a good way. And I mean, there's still a lot of you guys that are very much into your feelings about the loss of Harris, about Harris losing the election. And like I said before, never mind. Anyways, for those of you that voted for Harris, and obviously many of you are upset because she lost the election, I understand why some of you might be disappointed or upset, I guess. But I feel at this point, this whole political madness, I'm going to call it, has gotten way out of hand. Now, at first, I thought this was mainly an issue that was going on in the black community. But it seems to be an issue that's going on in white communities as well. Because uh, I've I've heard several people talk about how for this coming holiday season, they're not going to spend time with their family because their family may have overwhelmingly voted for Donald Trump. I mean, I've heard women talk about how they're disowning their children because of how they voted. I've heard children claiming that they're going to disown their parent or parents because of how they voted. And there's even women that are talking about divorcing their husband because of how he voted. And there's also a bunch of you out here that you may have had a very close friend and y'all may have been friends for, 20, 30 years. And just like that, you're willing to end that friendship for nothing more than your friend may have voted a certain way. Now, I know a lot of you are not going to listen to what I got to say. I know a lot of you are going to strongly disagree with what I'm getting ready to say, but what I'm getting ready to say is this. Let's go back to the days where we can put our differences aside and we can still, you know, we can put our differences aside and we can still get along. Now, for those of you that want to abandon your family, you want to abandon your close friends over politics, you guys are making a bad mistake. Now, for some of you individuals, especially some of you women, that you think you're ready to be by yourself, you think you're ready to be alone, you think you're gonna be able to handle being all by yourself, no friends, no family around, because you done abandoned all of them based on how they may have voted. Let me tell you something. Now, obviously, I'm a man. Now, I've been here in Alabama for going on 3 years, and I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes life here for me could be difficult because I don't know anybody here in Alabama. All the people that I know and are close to, they all are still living in Indiana or Ohio. I'm here in Alabama, by myself. I don't know nobody. I still don't know anybody. And sometimes it can be hard to live somewhere where you don't know nobody. Like when you need something simple, like let's say your car breaks down and You need to take your car to your mechanic for repairs. Well, if you know someone, you can typically get someone to follow you to the mechanic with your vehicle, and then that person will bring you back home. Or if you're at the mechanic with the vehicle, and the mechanic tells you they're going to need your vehicle for a day or two or whatever the case might be. If you know someone, you can call them up. You can have them come to the mechanic, and they'll pick you up and take you back home. They might, if you pay them a little bit of money, they might even take you back and forth to your job. But when you're living somewhere to where you're by yourself, you know nobody, you have no friends close by, you don't have those type of options. So for those of you that are so willing to abandon your friends, abandon your family, because you did not like how they voted November 5th, just bear all this in mind. I think you guys are making a terrible mistake. And for you guys' sake, I beg for you guys to really think about your decisions. Now I know for some of you, when you watch social media influencers talk about how they've abandoned their family, how they abandoned some of their friends, based on how they may have voted November 5th. I know for some of you, especially some of you younger people, you know, that person sounds like they're on business. That person sounds strong. That person sounds very convincing. Like, man, I wish I can be like this individual that be on business. But at some point, that time is going to come to where you're going to need some of these people that you're so willing to abandon back into your life. And when that time comes to where you need some of these people back in your life, don't take these people for granted. Because these people might be like, you know what? Yeah, they need me back. They need me for whatever the case might be. But you know what? I'm good over here. Since this individual chose to cut our friendship, since this individual chose to disown me because of how I voted, you know what? I'm good. I'm going to just stay by myself and worry about myself and only surround myself with people that aren't going to abandon me at the drop of a hat due to how I may have voted. So that person that you may have abandoned or you may have cut ties with due to how they voted, that day might come to where when you need them, they're not going to be there for you. They are not going to be there for you. You're going to call, you're going to text, and they're not going to answer. Or if you text, they might answer back and say, I'm sorry, I can't, I'm busy. And then you're going to be sitting there by yourself, having to figure things out for yourself. And your girl Harris, I guarantee, is not coming to your rescue. You will be there by yourself, trying to figure life out by yourself. You will not have your family or your friends around because you chose to cut ties with them over something as dumb as politics. Although politics is important, at the same time, it's not more important than your friends and your family. Your friends and your family should always come first. Like, for those of you that voted for Harris, Harris doesn't know none of you from a can of paint. For those of us that voted for Donald Trump doesn't know any of us from a can of paint. And when the rubber meets the pavement, guess what? None of these politicians on either side gives two craps about any of us. They live their life, we live our lives. And that's just how that goes. And for all any of us knows, on the day that Donald Trump learned that he won his presidency, that he won the presidency. Now, for those of you guys that are in your feelings about Harris losing the election, I want you to think about this for a minute, and this is speaking hypothetically. If I were to tell you that Harris and Donald Trump got together and they went and had a steak and potato dinner together, what if I were to tell you that? How many of you guys would believe me? And what if you were to walk up on Trump and Harris and you were to see them eating together their steak and potato dinner? Now, although I'm only speaking hypothetically, although I don't know whether they had such a thing go on or not, because I'm just like the rest of you, I don't know a damn thing about what goes on in in their personal lives. But I would say it is highly likely that Donald Trump and Harris could have got together and they could have had a steak and potato dinner. In fact, it could have been Donald Trump and his wife. It could have been Harris and her husband and Joe Biden and his wife. They all may have got together, one big party, went to some high-skill restaurant, had a steak and potato dinner, and enjoyed the hell out of it. And everyone at the table, they could have been shaking Donald Trump's hand, congratulating him on his win, win for presidency. For all any of us knows, that's what could have happened on the day that Donald Trump learned that he won the presidency. Now, one thing I guarantee is Harris is going to celebrate the holidays with the same people, close friends and family, the same people as he celebrated the holidays with, let's say, a year ago, back when the idea of her running for president wasn't even in the works. It wasn't even a thought. It wasn't even a thought. It wasn't even a conversation. I guarantee she's going to celebrate the holidays with those same people this year, despite the fact that she may have lost the presidency, despite the fact that some of the people in her circle may have not been in agreement with some of her with some of her beliefs. I guarantee Harris is not going to allow the loss of the election to ruin the rest of her life. I guarantee she's not going to allow that to separate herself from her close friends and family. She's not going to allow it to ruin the holidays. She's not going to allow it to ruin nothing. She's gonna most likely enjoy life, enjoy the holidays every bit as much after she lost the election as she may have enjoyed before she even entered into the election. And I say all this because I just want to paint a picture of how I just want, for those of you that are in your feelings about Harris, I just want you guys to realize and overstand, not understand, but overstand how foolish you guys are. For those of you that are talking about, well, because so and so voted for Trump, I'm going to quit being their friend, even though y'all may have been friends for 20, 30 years or even 10 years. Well, because so and so voted for Trump, I'm going to quit. I'm going to quit talking to him, even though that person might be your brother or your sister. I'm going to quit talking to my parents. I'm going to quit talking to my son or my daughter because they voted for Trump. I'm not going to deal with my family no more because they voted for Trump. I just want you guys to understand how foolish that type of a decision is. Like I said earlier, That day will come. I mean, I'm not saying it might come. I'm saying that day will come. Mark my word. To where you would need some of these people back in your life for one reason or another. And if any of these people choose to not be there for you because you hurt them in a way that was, in a way that they don't feel they can forgive you for, I guarantee all the people that you may have watched on social media, all your so-called friends on social media, like on Facebook, that may have told you, go girl, you can do it, you know, you, you can do it, you got it. You don't need these people in your life. These people voted against you and all this and blah, 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 all that other jargon. I guarantee none of these people that you follow on social media, I guarantee none of these people that you may have befriended on Facebook are gonna have your back any way, shape, or form. I guarantee they're not gonna have their back. They're not gonna have your back. If you try to reach out to any of these individuals, what you're gonna most likely experience is crickets. You will be by yourself. You will be looking like a straight fool. You will feel like a straight fool, as you should. And I would love for you guys to come to your senses and understand that at the end of the day, it is not that serious to where you have to abandon your close friends, your family over political stuff. I mean, I'm hoping that you guys come to your senses and you enjoy the rest of your holidays together as a family the same way you did, let's say, last year. I'm hoping that you guys come to your senses and you stay and you keep your close friends. You keep your friends. The same people that you may have been friends with, let's say, last year, or let's say November 3rd or November 4th, if you chose to not be their friend no longer as of November 5th, I'm hoping you go back to these people. You be the you take the higher road, you apologize for your stupidity, and hopefully you guys can rekindle your friendship. Because like I said, many of you cannot handle being by yourself. Because anyone that was mentally strong, in my opinion, would not disown their family. They would not quit being somebody's friend over something as stupid as politics. But many of you, the way I see some of you guys on social media just crying and getting all emotional and just doing the most, many of you couldn't handle truly being by yourself. Many of you never even been in that type of a situation. You couldn't handle being in a situation like that. And that's all I gotta say on this one. So hopefully you guys got the message. Hopefully you guys got something out of this video. And hopefully we can get back to times to where we can agree to disagree and keep it moving and get along. Stay blessed. Catch you guys on the next one.